how to make complex shapes in PowerPoint. I hope you enjoy. So here we have a piece of wheat. So how do we make this complex shape? So first, let's make the stem. So the stem is actually made up of a rectangle. Weird, but it's actually very simple. What you can do is you can just take a rectangle, and since stems are usually very thin, we can make this a very thin rectangle. And now, what we can do is, it will automatically put us into the shape format tab over here. Then we can go to edit shape, and we can go to edit points. And if we edit the points, we can do it like this or like this, and we can turn it into rectangles, triangles, trapezoids, etc. Anything that has 4 sides. But right now, all we want to do is make a curved stem. So we can use these white points instead of the black ones to make it so that they are curved. So we can go back, we can go to edit points, and we can make it as curved and as thin as we want. So we can go here. It's mostly a matter of trial and error. So here. Okay, so now that we have a stem, we can change the color very easily. We can either go to the presets, where it already has a gold color over here which matches wheat, or we can go and make our own custom color over here. So I'll just use the standard gold color that I used over here. And now, to make this more 3D looking, all we can do is we can press right click on the shape, and we can go to format shape, and then you have this section over here, and you can go to the hexagon or pentagon over here, and you can go to 3D format. Then over here you can choose anything you want to. So you can choose the material it's made of, so make it so that it's translucent, or it is special effects, or standard. Or you can make it so that the lighting is different, so you can have it warm lighting, cool lighting, etc. Or you can even just have different 3D effects. So here I can have the top pebble, which I really like. So it has this very nice 3D effect on thin items. So I'm going to use this one. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to make the seeds. So the seeds are a lot like eyes. So they have 2 points and a curve on each side. So there are not many shapes that look like that. So for example, if you go to the insert group and go to shapes, you'll see that not many shapes look like that. So you have the oval or the circle over here, but that doesn't have any points on it. And so that's basically the closest we can get. But here, we can go to edit points, and we can use it to edit the shape as we want it. But you'll see that when we're using an oval, we can't actually have individual points, see? The points aren't as distinct. So we want to find the next best thing, which would be this flowchart section over here, which is a hexagon. So a hexagon usually looks like this, but we're going to make it so that it's like irregular. So this irregular hexagon we have can be transformed into a seed. So first, let's make it bigger so that we can edit it more easily. So we can go and press edit points, press any of the black sections, and all we want to do is not change the points, but just change how the lines look. So we just want to bend the lines. So just bend it very slightly, like so. It doesn't have to be that precise because the seeds are very small. We're going to make it small. And so the viewer can't really notice the difference between the unnecessary weird sections. So over here, you won't really notice that weird bump over here because when it becomes very, very small, it's too slight to notice. Okay, so now that we have a somewhat nice seed, all we need to do is change the color. So again, I'm going to use the same color to match the stem. And we can again use the same effects. So I'm going to use the same one I used. And you'll see that the effects don't look as nice because it's so big. So I'm just going to make it very, very, very small. There. That looks like a seed. Now we can just attach it. But right now we only have one seed. But that's okay. Because you don't have to redo this process for every single seed. All we need to do is press Control and then C. And then now it's in your clipboard. Now we can do Control V and V again, and V again, and V again, and V again. And then you can have a bunch of these seeds, which you can just edit to put it on the stem, like that. And you can just Control C and Control V as many times as you want to make it fully like a piece of grain. So now, what we're gonna do is, you'll see that if you want to move the whole section, we can't. We can only move it individually by piece, and that can ruin some pieces. So what we want to do is make it grouped. So what we have to do, we have to select every single thing inside the section, and you see it selected, and you can see it can have all of these dots over here, and you'll know that if you have all these dots and turn symbols and arrows, then it means it's all selected. Now we can go to the shape format, and you'll see that there's this arrange group over here. So remember, the shape format will not come unless you have a shape selected. So in the shape format or in the home, you have this arrange group, and over here you can have press group, and then you have this drop down menu and just press group again, and now it's a big group. So now you can rotate it, move it, make it smaller, etc. Because now it is its own group, or it's like its own shape. And because of that, you cannot actually distort it like sideways or like this. You see that it actually distorts how these are positioned, and because of that, it doesn't look as nice. So you have to have it in the same you have to have it in the same profile. Now, this is a very powerful tool because now you can make multiple different things. So over here I have made an arrow. And this arrow is a lot like a piece of wheat. You can have these tiny little feathers over here, and then instead of having a curved stem, you can have one big brown section over here, and then just add a triangle. And always group it so that now you don't have to move everything by hand, and you can just move everything automatically. I hope you like this video, and goodbye.